G'day legends, TJC Sports here. Welcome back to another legendary NRL live stream reaction. It has been over a week since I've been able to say that without coughing. Man, does that feel good? Testing. Yeah, absolutely fine. Let's go, baby. TJC is back to being somewhat well. That was one of the worst weeks of my life, not being able to do content for you legends. It's good to finally be back with it here. I hope you all enjoy. Hit that like button. And if you're new, hopefully subscribe. But of course, that's optional here on the channel. We just appreciate having you here in this amazing, amazing community. Due to kick off in about 3 minutes here, it is the Manly Warringah Seagulls versus the Newcastle Knights. Let's take an edit there, by the way, on the little score thingy there. We don't want that too fat for yous, legends. So we'll just edit that up a little. But I got to spread that. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. TJC's got this. There we go. That's much better, isn't it? Now you can at least see Tommy's nose. That you want to at least be able to see his nose. Liam Pritchard in the chat. By the way, we read every single comment here on the channel for those of you that are new. So feel free to jump in with a comment. It will be read here on the channel. What a rugby league moment, says Liam Pritchard. What a great rugby league moment went on Friday night when Alex Johnston broke the Ken Irvine try-scoring record. Bro, for a second I thought you were going to say what a great moment because of this game between Manly and Knights. And I was going to be like, dang right, Liam. Dang right. But if we're talking about the breaking of the Ken Irvine record, of course, I said it. We did stream that game. It's the only game we streamed before this. Of course, credit where it's due to Ken Irvine. It was an amazing record he held. And I don't think his record is forgotten with the Alex Johnston thing. But what I do think is that Alex Johnston's made his own name in the rugby league record books that we will never forget. A moment that will not be repeated, in my opinion. Though they said that Irvine. So who knows in 100 years what might happen, legends, as fitness continues to improve, average lifespans, all that good stuff. Slowly improving every day. You got to love it. I'll get to the rest of your comments in a second, legends. But as the teams get ready to run on out, I think it's time to say the lineups. At fullback, captaining the side for Manly is Tommy Turbo, with Jason Subb and Leigh Hopewadi on the wings. Kohler and Ruben Garrick are in the centres. Kohler's actually scored in his last 10 games at Brookvale Oval. So if you're looking to tip somebody to score, legends, I think Kohler's your guy. In the halves, you've got Luke Brooks and Jamal Fogarty, with Taniela Paseka and Kobe Hetherington in the props. Jake Simpkin is wrapping it up at hooker, with Ola Kawatu and Ben Trebojevic in the second row. Jake Trebojevic at lock. The bench is Nathan Brown, Ethan Bilmore, Paul Bryan, Brandon Wakeham, Josh Belletti, and Corey Waddell. Hey, Brandon Wakeham's come a long way since that van, right? And for the visiting team, the Newcastle Knights, at fullback, Kalen Ponga captaining. That's right, 2 fullback captains. That doesn't happen every day, does it? With Dom Young and Greg Marju on the wings. Bradman Best and Dan Gagai are your centres, with Sandon Smith and Dylan Brown in the halves. Jacob Saifiti and the Vegas try scorer, Trey Mooney, in the props, with Crossland at hooker. Dylan Lucas and Jermaine McQueen are the second rowers. And by the way, I know his name's not McQueen, but we're calling him McQueen because it's fun. With Matt Croker at lock. The bench is Frizzell, Thomas Kant, Pasami Solo, Francis Manolea, Fletcher Hunt, Harrison Graham, and of course, Justin Holbrook coaching the side versus Anthony Seibold. Not captaining. They're a bit past their playing days, legends. Anyways, Newcastle versus Manly at Brookvale Oval, or 4 Pines Park, as it's more normally called nowadays, has officially kicked off here on the channel. And it's an amazing opening goal kick. Luke Brooks misses the bounce, and the Knights get given an incredible start to this game here. Good afternoon, TJ. This is Madston. Hey, Madston! Master Madston. How you doing, man? Good to have you in the stream, bro. Looks nice at Brookie. Yeah, Brookie's that kind of stadium, legend, where you either like mesh with it or you don't. For me personally, it does scream history. It does scream atmosphere. But also, I just can't. For me, I'm a bit iffy with Manly, so like it's a whatever stadium for me. I think it's because it's not exactly a fun trip to get to when you don't have the experience of getting to do the sightseeing and things, right? When you're just getting to it, it can be a bit of a pain. But yeah, when it comes to history and the overall, I guess, if you want a vibe that feels like you're at your old school footy, this is the place for you. Hello, TJC. Hello, George Alarm. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your DVDs. Croker now, through the middle here. The Newcastle Knights legends, forcing with spirit here. They get to the 10-metre line. Crossland on the dummy half. It's 4th tackle, legends. On the pip and in the corner. It's a try for Greg Marju to open it up for the Knights. And that is not what the doctor ordered for the Seagulls in the early days here at 4 Pines Park. The Newcastle Knights find the first points at the board today on our Sunday doubleheaders. And it was just crisp from Sandon Smith to Bradman Best. Well, it was just simply the best. Over to Marju in the corner there. And Greg Marju, the former Titan, I believe. Definitely former Wenty player. Just crashes on over almost too easily there. And the away side putting the pressure on them here. And the concerns grow higher for them. Of course, Newcastle Knights, unlike Manly, they've got the momentum coming off a victory last week in Vegas. They managed to best the Cowboys, who haven't looked too good to open the season. I mean, did anybody see the game versus the Tigers? Wasn't pretty. Wasn't pretty, like, at all, actually, legends. It was a bit of a concern, to be honest with you. And then you've got Manly, who, while they performed well last week, they were unlucky enough to not have... The defense was a big issue last week for them, you know. And they lost in Golden Point to the third youngest ever Golden Point scorer and the youngest ever since 2017 legends when, quote, a star was born at Amy Park. Unfortunately, you know, that guy ended up having a better Super League career than NRL career, which you don't hope for the Raiders player, but that was Brody Croft for those wondering. Hopefully we don't have another Brady Croft with that, and hopefully Manly can find something because they don't want to continue the game how they've started it there. Allowing that bounce, Luke Brooks, and then the try over, not good enough, legends. And personally, if I'm Seabold, I'm expecting more from my team to open up. They're at home. This is their fortress, legends. All the indications were for a victory for them here. Unlike last week where I do think there were signs that Newcastle Knights were going to beat Cowboys, I think there was a lot more signs to Manly winning this one. So if Manly blow it and the Newcastle Knights simply outplay them the way they have in the opening minutes, concerns all across the board here for Manly. On the second tackle here, we go to the left, and it's Saifiti crashing through the line here. Down he goes. Good tackle from Jake Trbojevic. You know, Jake Trbojevic, has he got a helmet now? Has Jakey Boy got a helmet? Since when does Jakey Boy wear helmets, legends? I'm not used to that. That's strange. And Mooney gets right in it here, just getting into the nicks and knacks of it all here. He's the what do you call it? He's the plaster you put on, legends. You know, he's the concrete that needs to solidify. Dylan Brown hits it in the air now, over to the right here. I'm still not used to him in the halfback position. And Manly with another mistake, but luckily the ball has gone backwards. It's a miracle for the Seagulls. That could have easily been called a knock on here. Luke Brooks now with the pass over to Cooler. Remember, he scored in his last 10 games at Brookvale Oval. Now finds Jason Saab here. Many people will forget that Saab was once a Dragon. Obviously, they nearly conceded 50 yesterday to the Melbourne Storm. We didn't stream the 3 games yesterday due to TJC still being under the weather. But, hey, he's fully ready now, isn't he, for today's streams, legends? I don't think we've coughed once yet. Probably will at some point, but... You know, there we go. Now over to the right here at Jabal Fogarty. Good high kick in the air here, almost to the 10, and Kalen Ponga catches it neatly. Ponga firing in there. Well, I was going to say a bullet to glass, but if that was a bullet to glass, then the Manly defense is bulletproof glass. And Olakawatu takes on Paseka. Did you hear that, legends? Apparently the Newey bus broke down on the way here. Isn't that terrible? Damn it, we're doing so well. A cough happened. Oh, we got more commenters. Sorry, legends. I wasn't looking in the corner. That's my bad. And Matt Croker over to the left here. What's up? What's up, Kate? He goes with the Knights to win here. We're going to put that tip into the tipping thing. I hate this ad. Oh, a lot of us hate the whistling ad, legend. And clearance from the big man in the Knights here, and Manly managed to collect it. Jamal Fogarty would have preferred a win against his former team last week. Came so close within it here. It's like he touched it, but he fell over right on the cusp. South Dude says, did you see AJ break the record? Of course I did, legend. We did an entire stream with it. And, you know, we're going on about it for at least an hour over the stream. It was amazing. It was a spectacular moment in rugby league history. Who hasn't seen that Alex Johnston broke the record? So cool, man. Also, I changed my logos. Yeah, I noticed that, man. I noticed that. Bunny's guy. Nice stuff, bro. Love the South photos. And it looks like we've got a 6 again signal from referee Todd Smith here. 6 again, ruck infringement, legends. Manly get over past the halfway line here. And now they're getting pumped up. Gets it to Burbo now. We're going to call them Gerbo, Burbo, Turbo. How about that, legends? Like the brothers. Turbo, Gerbo, Burbo. Well, I guess if you're going by age, though, you'd go Gerbo, Turbo, Burbo, right? Yeah. Simpkin. Simps again over to Jamal Fogarty. Who wouldn't simp for him? Down to the right here and on the 20. Caught nicely and playing it on the last here, Manly. They kick low. There's a lot of pressure. And I think that might be a try for Garrick. Is it Ruben Garrick that's just scored a try? The referee says no try. I think you got to take a look at this because if this is a try, it's one of the worst sides of defense I've seen. And I've been swearing for at least 4 years at this point, so clearly I'm a veteran. Unless they say that Saab... Okay, Saab knocks the ball in a forward direction, legends. If that was called backwards, then we would have had no problem. But because they've called it as forwards, it's going to remain 6-0. You don't see that often these days, that kind of effort, right, from the side there. It's not common for the post to play a big factor in the decision-making. That's probably the first time in a long time that's happened. South Dude says, did you see Albo? I did see that Albo... Yeah, legend. I did see that Albo was there. You know, he is a South fan, legend, so it doesn't surprise me. You know, it's such a historic moment. Newcastle Knights here, over to Saifiti here. Gets to the 40. Can Manly, I think, yeah, Manly leveled the scores. I couldn't see the L for some reason in that comment. Well, legend, they're going to have to defend the Knights first here. Third tackle here on the sideline. Fourth now. Huge right wing here as they go into touch. Over to the left. Finds a move over to Manly's right edge there. Heavy defense. Olakawatu had to act with speed here. Finds Ponga now. Ponga's going to do the creation now. That was a Matt Burton-esque kick. That is beautiful and direct. But Turbo clutches up as per usual. That's how Turbo does things when his ankles aren't made of glass. I remember when Tommy Turbo, there was all the questions about whether he was going to be immortal back in 23, 22, one of the 21. I don't even remember anymore. Tommy Turbo had a great year one time, and just unfortunately ever since then, he just hasn't been the same with injuries. But he's always shown that ability, and when he does have a good game, you know he's had a good game. Eagles or Knights? I tipped Manly, legend, but Newcastle Knights, who knows? Good for you, George. Good for you. Luke Brooks now with the clearance here. Over to the 20, and Dom Young gets it. Winning the field position, he gets it to Kalen Ponga. Ponga with a few steps now. Manly, it's just a simple tippy toe right now. They're kind of just, they're riding the wave a little at the moment. They are yet to crack that moment. Round to the right here. And the Newcastle Knights on the third here go to Sandon Smith. And Lucas is there, really looking dangerous here. And on the 40 now, Olakawatu is offside at the moment, but they look the other way. Dylan Brown to Ponga, room to room. Kalen Ponga, that could be an obstruction. No, it's not. The ref says it's fine. Ponga keeps going. He gets it to Sandon Smith now on the 15. Sandon keeps running now. Sandon finds Jermaine here, and Jermaine will take the tackle here. He makes it, and that'll be one more left in the set here as Crossland crosses to Dylan Brown. Ponga, Dom Young for the corner, and he loses it. Losing control of the ball. Manly have held on here. And that was just brilliant from the Newcastle Knights. Wait, what a moment. And the boos. You can hear them from here. The Manly fans are furious. All they can do is boo the Newcastle Knights at the moment, the way they're putting it on Manly. Manly need to find something. Evening Legends, says Jason Reader. Evening Legend. Welcome to the stream, mate. Good to have you here, Jason. Regular viewer. Simpkin looks for the service to Jamal Fogarty here. And Fogarty committed to this one here. Gets the pass off and just crashing into the line there, Manly's number 10. Round to the right now, and Jamal Fogarty with a high kick in the air here. If they could get the end of this. Oh, they did, but not good enough here. Okoatu knocks it on after getting it. Evening, Cade Mills. 19 votes so far on the poll, Legends. 58% of you going with Manly to win compared to the 42%. Jason Reader says Manly at 1-12. That goes into our predictions to discuss at halftime as well, Legends. Every single comment here matters. Finds Bradman Best now. Bradman Best just crashes forward here. Over to the right now. And it's Kalen Ponga again here. Almost finds Dom Young. Is that going to be 6 again? It definitely ran into a Manly player. And yep, the referee's going to call it 6 again, Legends. Tackle 0. Dylan Brown for Trey Mooney. Looking to flick it out the back to Croker. Croker around here. Croker gets to the 20. Croker's down on the ground now here. Spoiled for choice at the moment, aren't we, when it comes to options at Newcastle? Looking away from Ponga, they go to Sandon Smith now. Sandon Smith on the ground here. It's Ponga to Dylan Brown. And Dom Young for the corner. Dom Young! And they've got 10 unanswered points at the moment. Both the wingers crashing on over for scores here. And the Manly Warringah Seagulls are left in the trenches, rotting at the moment. 10-0. That's right. You read that right. 10-0 with a kick to come here. The Newcastle Knights are on fire and Manly lacking desire. Caleb Ponga to Dylan Brown to Dom Young. That's right, Knight fans. You aren't dreaming. That's a real combination of talent you have. And they crash on over. Dominic Young, the former Sydney Rooster, and before that, previous night back at Knights from last year, has just scored a worldie from an incredible setup there. And the Knights show the home support how it's done. And that's how you visit a team away from home. I can't say exactly that I tipped the Knights to win this one, but man, oh man, good on them, I say. Dominic Young, ladies and gentlemen, pat yourself on the back. Knights 10 tries. I don't think they're going to score 10 tries, Legend, but it is a 10-point try, absolutely. Caleb Ponga from the right edge. Not that it means much in round 2, but he scored 83% of his kicks. Caleb Ponga, Legends, to slot this one in. He is number 1, not just on the back. Number 1, not just on the back. Caleb Ponga hits the slogger, and it is 12-0 at Brookie, 4 Pines Park. Manly just unable to find something. It was a bad sign from the start when Luke Brooks let it bounce, and then they crashed on over within a minute, a little over a minute maybe, because it wasn't the fastest ever try. And then after that, the way that they just let Knights run over them, like they were running over them for a good 5-6 minutes before that crash and burn with the 10-point try. Knights conversion done, bro. It's done. It's done. And doing the job now, it's the Knights. To the left, Dom Young here. Arms out now. Newcastle Knights can be proud of this one so far here. It's been a good, solid performance in their foundation. And, oh no, the commentator's curse is a real thing, Legends. Completely lost there by the Knights. Jermaine McEwen losing the ball here, as we love to call him McQueen. Lightning McEwen on the channel here. Fortunately lost that ball as fast as lightning after I praised his team. And after looking for that field possession, they finally get it. Manly Warringah Seagulls legends with a prime opportunity. This is the best opportunity they've had all game. It's been all night so far. This is the big moment for them here. A bit of speed on it. Fogarty goes over to Paseka here, who goes centre field now. Come on, Paseka. Get a try for my super coach, baby. Come on. Get on it, bro. Get on it, Paseka. Find Simpkin here. To Jamal Fogarty, you dummies! He's going to get some points for Manly. And is that his first try in the colours? In the Manly colours? Is that his first try, legends? Jamal Fogarty, the former Canberra Raider, star halfback, former Gold Coast Titan, absolutely smashed it over there. No, he got a try last week as well. That means Jamal Fogarty is yet to play a game for the Seagulls in the regular season and not score a try. That's 2 games now where the halfbacks crashed on through. Can we continue a theme of this? Yesterday, Nathan Cleary crashed on over. Pretty sure last week a halfback went over as well. I think it's becoming a regular thing. Who will be the halfback that scores, legends? It's Jamal Fogarty for now here, and they've got the points to put themselves right back in the game here. It's not over until I win, is what they say here. And it's 4-12 now with the kick to come here. Jamal providing all their points at the moment. A beautiful dummy where he went straight through. The only player that could possibly try to stop him was Kalen Ponga. And Ponga was never going to get him from that position. Absolutely not. And if you're enjoying this ripper of a game, legends, we're only a few subs away from 3.4K, so consider hitting that sub button. Magic fingers here. The Manly crowd. That hill. What an iconic piece in rugby league history that is. Never thought I'd see the day that I'd see Jamal in the Manly colours. It's running at a 30k/hour breeze. Can he slot this through with a curve? He can! It curves right on through there. Can't somebody get him into the soccer, bro. Get him into the football. He's got the cross on him. He's got the cross on him. Ronaldo, Messi, the current Premier League stars. I don't know. Benjamin Sesko. Totally no bias there. Give them the service. And that's 6-12. The converted try, the only difference here in this one, Manly, with the home, we know how dangerous it can be, the home advantage, the momentum shifting back, it's so easy to be able to do it, but it's also so easy to overestimate it. They need to keep a cool head here if they're looking to equalise. Eagles 4-point try, says Cade Mills in the chat. Now to the right here. And now it's Burbo with the ball now. Burbo. And Burbo won't be able to find Turbo on the ground. Burbo goes. Burbo now to Gerbo. Gerbo here. Gerbo past the 30 now. Away with speed to Simpkin. Gets it over. Jake Simpkin off the dummy. Unfortunately not able to get through like his halfback. Over to Turbo now. Down the left edge here. And Turbo finds Brooks. Luke Brooks! Luke Brooks! Brooks caught on the 40 here. And it's Jamal Fogarty's job to just clear it on 5th tackle here. Manly have definitely started to put the pressure on the Knights. And Kalen Ponga collects the ball after a great set from the Manly Seagulls here. Sandon Smith over to the left with Bradman Best. I still don't know how I feel about Sandon Smith heavily attacking towards the left. Like, personally, for me, with Dylan Brown being forced to go to right because of it, I just think it impacts the team, personally. Justin Bear says, live score round 2, Manly versus Knights 2026. The score right now, legends, the live score for you, easy. It's 12-6, and it's on the scoreboard on the screen right now, legend. Who will score next? Oh, mate, for the sake of excitement in rugby league, you'd hope that it's Manly, but either way, I'm completely neutral with this game, so whoever wants to score can score. All right? I'm not going to stand in your way and sook. Manly over to the right here on 2nd tackle here after the Knights gave it. Ruben Garrick with the ball now. Garrick, I always barrack for Garrick. He's off to the Roosters next year. Going to be a huge loss for Manly. I still think Garrick's a really underrated, useful player for Manly. Even though he's like rated as a fairly useful one, I think he's underrated. Simpkin now. And Jamal Fogarty, he's just putting a good kicking game. They're not trying anything too crazy. Oh, Caleb Ponga knocks it on. Caleb Ponga knocks the ball on. Coca-Cola forces the mistake here. And the Newcastle Knights are in danger. It's the highway to the danger zone of Brookvale Oval. They're taking the highway to the danger zone. And Manly absolutely sit down the Newcastle Knights with that kick there. And the Knights now have to show a bit of that early game form and hold on here. Manly on the attack here with the feed and the scrum. Here we go, Manly on the attack. The tic-tac. Turbo. Finds it Garrick. He's worried about running behind teammates there, and he'll take the tackle. It's just the first half, legends. We're halfway through the first half now officially. Can you believe we're already a quarter through this game? This game has been absolutely an absolute blast of a Sunday game. Brooks keeps it alive. Over to the left here. Cooler and Dom Young knocks it on. Full set coming up again for Manly. Could the pressure be higher right now? I think not. At this moment in time, I think it's actually impossible for the pressure to be higher. This offload here from Burbo over to Brooks could have been really dangerous if he was aware of Dom Young's speed through the line. If Dom Young misread that, though, he looks really dumb as Brooks runs through. So it's a bit of a catch-22. And now Turbo, they're trying to crash through. Turbo alone! And Turbo scores for Manly! How strong is he looking here? Tommy Turbo for the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Crashing on over there. Tom Trebojevic, it's 10-12. Where a kick to come. That is game on, baby. They will not be smashed. They will not be made to sit down at their home turf. They will show you exactly why this is Manly Warringah Seagulls' home stadium and not yours. And the Newcastle Knights, after a promising start, have let it go. And honestly, Manly could genuinely, in this one, be level in a second. We just got to wait and see on the kick. Tommy Turbo, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about his best years in the past. Well, look at this stat. 6 tries in his last 6 games now at 4 Pines Park. Tommy Turbo can be proud of that one. Look at the way he drags Phoenix Crossland across here. Just runs with him, and crashes over. Essentially, Crossland did nothing wrong, but Turbo refused to stop. You know, if you're not going to be able to slow his momentum, then it's simply not a tackle, right, legends? That's how it works. And with that try all but confirmed, Jamal Fogarty has a big job on his hands now, legends. Eagles tries, Kane Mills. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the game so far in the chat, legends. Remember, we read every single comment here. And these players are putting on a show here so far. 2 tries apiece. Hopefully 2 conversions apiece. Jamal Fogarty. To quickly outdate my commentary line, he did. He very quickly outdated my commentary there. Jamal Fogarty misses it, legends. And with that, well, I am going to have to sit on my sword, lie in my bed, sit on my sword, and accept that they did not get the kick. Manly still trail as it stands, 12-10, and the 2-pointers should never be underestimated in any game of rugby league there. That could be costly if they're not too careful with the type of matchup this has been. Unless Manly continue this momentum, but this game's given me the vibe that it's going to be a bit of a ping-pong match. On catching duty here, Luke Brooks, and he catches this one. He doesn't let this one bounce, and it goes through the middle here. Newcastle Knights now with defense. Paseka. Free to the right now. High-scoring start to the season here for Jamal Fogarty as he goes to Burbo here. Running it through tonight. Round his brother here. Gets it over to Turbo. Turbo, his brother, now crashing forward. Held on the 40 now. And moving again here. Luke Brooks gets to halfway now and nearly gets pants there. That's a sight the world wants to see. The greatest player. Background to Turbo. That's a bit of a waste of a fourth tackle there for Manly. One last in the set here. Probably just going to have to clear this one as far as they can. Simkin, Fogarty. If they can force another error, floats it forward towards Dom Young, and Dom Young gets it. You know, not his favourite part of his game, young Dom Young. He doesn't exactly, no pun intended there, Dom Young doesn't exactly enjoy the high ball, does he? It's a bit of an awkward thing for him. Nearly falls over into it, but he does manage to collect it, and credit to him where it's due for that here. Newcastle Knights now through the middle. On the 40 now, we got Croker. Going to Sandon Smith, who finds Ponga. Ponga dummies. Ponga's looking to move with it here. Ponga likes to move it. Held around halfway here. A bit slow to get up there, Kalen Ponga here. Now nearly to the 40. And they're looking for the offload here. Brown says, I'm going to get it to McEwen here, or McQueen as we love to call him on the channel here. Finds Crossland to Dylan Brown now. Brown with a clearance in the air here. There's a lot of chase on it, but he keeps his composure there, and the Manly fullback manages to collect. Tommy Turbo. And you got to pat Newcastle on the back so far, because Brookvale Oval is probably in my top 3 hardest stadiums to go to as a, like what I'd say as an away player. Like, I've never played before, so I couldn't tell you exactly, but for me personally, it would be top 3 for me, at least the feeling I get. It's up there with Melbourne and, what's the other one? I mean, I haven't exactly gotten it during club level, but Suncorp can be a bit tough. Penrith. I think Penrith's home stadium when they actually get a home stadium, so will probably be another tough one, and that's just tough because of the fans. Daniel Bates says, morning, Tyler. Hope you're feeling slightly better. Oh, mate, I'm feeling much better. We've got the odd cough in us, but now I can actually commentate, and I'm over the moon about that. Newcastle Knights almost with the area, and Dom Young manages to keep possession there. Now the Knights through the middle here. I'm feeling much better, Daniel, though. Thanks for asking, bro. Definitely still not 100%, but, like, we can do 2 streams. That's the great thing, you know? It's so good, man. Feels so good to be back with it. Did everything right. Handled it, and now we're going to be better than ever. Bradman Best down the left here, and this has to be a short try. Tommy Turbo to Ponga, and Caleb Ponga try saver potentially. No! And Caleb Ponga finds his way through here. Converted try with a kick to come here, and that looks a lot less scary if it wasn't for the 2-point advantage they already had, doesn't it? Genuinely appreciate you for asking, Daniel Bate, and there we go. 16-10. And that was all Bradman Best. All Bradman Best, baby. All Bradman Best. Bradman. Bradman Best, what a player he is. New South Wales Blues representative, passing to the Maroons fullback representative here before, of course, the days of Reece Walsh. Had some great Origin Series, KP. Bradman Best too, just less series wins, you could say, I guess, when it comes to Bradman Best. Ever since his opening year as a player, Bradman Best has always shown promise. And he just simply shows exactly why right there. Lever looks nice in Oz right now, improving here in the UK too, thank God. Oh, thank God, legend. I was hoping it would be just pure black and grey forever. I'm kidding. When I think of UK, all I think is grey. Is that wrong? Knights score, says Kane Mills. Welcome, my brother. Thank you very much, mate. Knights to score, bro. Absolutely. Ponga looks good, doesn't he? Oh, bro, he looks brilliant. He looks brilliant right now, man, KP. You know what I'm proud of? I got both my any times correct so far, and it's only the first half. Turbo and Dom Young both crashed on over at some point. I should have bet Ponga to score too, like in my tips. I should have said that. Should be able to slot this one in here. And it's going to be an 8-point lead to the Newcastle Knights in enemy territory. Unfortunate stuff for Manly, but hey, they haven't been disgraced. All right, I would have said that if Knights had scored their third straight try, but no, they haven't been disgraced yet, Manly. Newcastle Knights have simply played better at the moment. And considering this was a team that was heavily tipped for the spoon, truly they should be applauded for it. But it goes back to what I've said in the past. Justin Holbrook is a solid coach. I stand by the fact that if your team is getting the spoon with Holbrook as your coach, your team was not good enough. If there was a coach, in my opinion, that was going to get something from the minimum, it was going to be him. He's kind of like, anybody look up, if you look up the football or something, look up a coach called Sean Dyche. He's kind of like Sean Dyche, only actually a little better in the NRL as a coach. But like what I mean by that is Sean Dyche is a coach in the football known for great survival, but for the ability to get someone out of a relegation, essentially. It's kind of fallen off as a rep of his in the past, but it was something he was known for. That's kind of how I view Holbrook in a way that your team will not finish at the bottom with him as your coach. Now around to the right here, Tyson Frizzell finds Dylan Brown, gets to Caleb Ponga here. Dom Young now. Dom Young trying to crash through on the right here. Couldn't quite break through the line there. The effort's there, though. And lovely weather at Brookie, I must say here, as they go down. Rugby Fella says, hello, Rugby Fella. Welcome to the stream, mate. Good to have you here. Legend. Which play is that? Cameron Smith. Oh, Cameron Smith's your picture. Cool. Yeah, it's horrible here at times. Basically not got soaked riding my bike around. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, man. I hope you're good. Bro, it can be... I wouldn't know from living experience, you know better, but it's good to know that my perception isn't exactly the worstly worked thing, right? At least it's got some logic to it. Good to hear that it's getting better, though, because, mate, if I had the weather that you've had lately, I would not be well right now. I'm lucky enough that the weather hasn't been too bad, which has kind of helped. Weather can definitely impact how my breathing goes. Awesome, man. Coming from a Paramount fan, I will admit Cameron Smith was a decent hooker. Newcastle Knights just get there in time off of a kick from Manly here. And down to the ground they go. Legends, we are officially 2 subs away from pre-point 4K. If you haven't hit that sub button yet, what are you doing, Legends? To keep up with the best streaming content in the NRL. Round to the left now. Putting a bit more pressure on Dylan Brown, the Sea Eagles here, as we go to the right now. And now's with Frizzell. I'm just looking for something to be done. It's going to be either Ponga or Brown. And it's going to be Dylan Brown. Over to McEwen here. And McEwen now around the middle. Dylan Brown now. High kick in the air to the right. Dom Young. And Tommy Turbo gets it here. Grabbed by the ankle there. From somebody. Built to last me, bro. You gotta keep on, ain't you? You gotta keep on keeping on, ain't you? Absolutely, mate. You gotta keep on, mate. You gotta keep on going. You gotta keep on trucking, bro. All right. It's tough being unwell, but the moment that I can do it, I'm back at it with the work, Legend, because I love what I do. I love growing, and I love you guys. I love what we do. Got to keep pushing with it, and we're back. And mate, I just feel so good that I can talk and not cough. It just feels so good, man. Jamal Fogarty with a good kick over to the middle here. And on the 20-meter zone here, Newcastle Knights will crash through to their 30 zone. Jennykins is how we doing? We're doing pretty good, mate. Good to have you in the chat, Jennykin. Always welcome here. What a legend Jennykin is, guys. Give a pat on the back to them. Well done on beating the Broncos on Thursday. Thank you very much, Rugby Fellow. Well done on beating the Dargans yesterday, legend. That was a great performance from you. Mate, I'm still over the moon about that game. I can't wait to beat the Dargans next week. It's so unfortunate that they're going to concede 50 next week after conceding 46 this week? Goodness me, such a tough 2 weeks it's going to have been for them here. Jonah jumps in with a prediction here as Knights attack to the left here on first tackle for a 6 again, legends. We're going to put that into the predictions tally. We're going to be mentioning these at half time here. Knights 50+. 51 plus. We're going to put them both in, Jonah. How about that, legend? All right, 50 plus can be your official prediction. But, hey, if they get 51 plus, you can be happy that you were just like that specific. And under the pressure here, Manly managed to collect the ball despite all the odds here. Just need Finns to win next game. You just need the Finns to win next game, bro. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows how the Finns will go next game? I think the Finns should win next game, but not because I don't. I'll get into that more when we get to that game. It's not because I don't think the Titans will find form or get a win at some point. I just have some feelings with the Dolphins that go against the Titans that I will discuss when the more appropriate time comes for that. Ola Kawatu. With a few tackles left, Jamal Fogarty to Jake Trbojevic. Gets over to Cooler here. Cooler around now. 41-50, says Jonah. Who have Para got next, says Daniel Bate. Daniel Bate, they've got the Dragons next week, and it's our first home game of the season here. It's about time Mitchell Moses put up a huge performance. Over the right for Bullymore here. Bullymore held on the 10. Finds Jake Trbojevic, who finds Luke Brooks. Over to Cooler here. Cooler kicks low here. Hopper Whitey. And the Knights had to hit it out of play. And a nicely weighted kick there from the Newcastle Knights' attackers, Manly Warringah Seagulls. I got a little lost there in my brain. Sewer played amazing. He will be our future fullback for sure, says Rugby 4. Absolutely, mate. Bro, he was the clear fullback choice when in Pappenhausen's last year, bro. For me personally, Pappenhausen should have been dropped for Sewer a bit ago. But, credit where it's due to Paps. I like Paps. Hope he's enjoying what's essentially a mini retirement. Ponga injured already? Potentially, mate. Potentially. By the way, for you guys wondering, when we mentioned that Dragons play next week, that is the case, which means that next Sunday's games will not be streamed on the channel because I'll be at the game vlogging them, legends. For those of you who don't know how it works, when Para play, I more than likely am at the game vlogging. If I do end up having a stream for a Para game, legends, you better check it out because that stuff does not happen often. It won't happen next week because we'll be at CommBank. We're at every CommBank game 100%, legends. It means also, unfortunately, we'll be missing Cowboys versus Titans. I'm sure you guys are going to be upset that I won't be streaming that bottom two clash. Poor Pogger on the hamstring injury on the bench now. 25 meters now. Newcastle Knights over to the right here with Bradman Best. He likes to move it. Can they score another try? It's an 8-point lead heading into halftime with 5.5 minutes left. It's a very long kick. Oh, look out. This could be a 40-20. Yeah, Turbo had to do something to stop that. And he does just that. Barely able to. I'm upset of letting go Peasant, but hey, got to deal with it. Hey, it happens, legend. I'm really upset about losing Dylan Brown. He's not only one of the better 5'8s I've watched in my time watching Para, but he's also one of the best people I've watched. Mate, my words can't go out to how much I appreciate Dylan as a bloke. So, I get it. I'm gutted to lose a 5'8. You're gutted to lose a 5'8. It's how it goes in rugby league, right? You lose players, they come and go, but you don't forget the memories. However brief, however long. And we get to the last here. Manly on the right here with a good high kick in the air here. It's a bit awkward there, and I think it's Manly's knock on here. Newcastle Knights now with a crash forward here, with a counter attack. Nice move from Fletcher as he moves around now. And Fletcher just gets down to the ground. I'm still in shock that Pogger's out already. I agree with Jetty Kid. It's a shocker that Pogger's already out of the field now. And with the ice pack, the chances he comes back seem low today. Though I'd love to be proven wrong, as I love watching Caleb Pogger play on the field. Talking round here. Oh, well, he needs to start. Best for him anyway. Exactly. Best for Peasant. And I respect Dylan's in a way too because, look, it's not the exact same at all. They're completely different. But, he needed, it's good money, right? Dylan Brown with a piece of exceptional brilliance. Dylan Brown. Oh, my God. And he finds his way with the pass. And number 18 for the Newcastle Knights, Fletcher Hunt crashes on over. And he's still on the ground, Dylan. He may have hurt himself a little doing it, but Dylan Brown showing a bit of what Para are missing without him. Taking the line on there, Dylan Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. It's not the exact same, but the money legend. Like, he was never going to get offered that anywhere else. Wow. Just wow. Bravo. Take a bow, son. Can somebody just... Can we all donate to him? Like, I think he deserves a piece of charity after an incredible play like that. We all pitch in for a... I was going to say memorial, but that's terrible. We're going to pitch in for like a statue of this man, Dylan Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Fletcher to be fullback next week for Newcastle Knights against the Wires. Hey, wouldn't be a bad shout, man. Fletcher's not a bad fullback at all. Wow, nice as Daniel, mate. Very nice indeed, mate. 22-10 now, the scoreline in this one, Legends, with the kick to come here. Dylan Brown still getting looked at on the bit there. I'm very unfortunate to see him in that position. I hate it. Got to fix that. 60 seconds. Off. Boom. There's this weird thing with my streaming service, not like a Netflix or something. With what I do to stream Legends, they've got this weird new thing where you can accidentally like set a timer for how long it's on the screen. Convenient enough, but it's not exactly great actually because it means that I accidentally set this thing for 60 seconds sometimes, which is kind of annoying. Oh my days, Plath is starting. How good, mate? Don't get me started on Plath starting. Bro. You just wait. You just wait, bro. Dolphins versus Titans is gonna be an insane stream on the channel. This is an insane stream, but that's gonna be the definition of insane, Legends. 24-10 as we kick off again here. Newcastle Knights have been the better team as it stands, but Manly have not looked down and out of it just yet. Sorry about talking about Melbourne at the moment. Mate, that's absolutely fine. We're nearly at halftime, Legend. Feel free to talk about whatever you want when we hit halftime, man. I'm going to be going on mostly about the game, but I am absolutely fine, Legend. All right, I am absolutely fine with it. Okay, we can, it gives us more to talk about at halftime. And he's fine. Never mind, he's fine. He was being looked at as injured, Legends, but he looks fine now. On the left now, kick in the air here. Not studied Brown much, but he looks silky. Well, you know what else is sicky? Knights scoring another try. Tyson Frizzell, ladies and gentlemen, here. For the Knights, 28-10. Wow. $28-10 here. I'll talk about the silkiness, bro. Dylan Brown is absolutely an extremely silky player, bro. A very silky player. He's kind of like one of those boys where he doesn't do the Cleary stuff, but what he does do is, he's a 5'8". He's got that Munster X Factor come from nowhere about him. The Knights are sucking the life out of the Seagulls at the moment, Legends. I'm 2 out of 8 at the moment, says Rugby Fella. Well, Legend, I've had a much better tipping week. My only wrong tip will have been Newcastle versus Manly if this goes through as it's going so far, because I tipped Manly. As it stands, I've got one tip wrong, Legends. Manly can be a bit brittle at times, can't they? Very brittle, Legend. Very brittle at times. Okay, I'm going to make a really, really controversial call here. I don't think that the game's done yet, but I think Manly are in huge danger of the game being done, if that makes sense. They need to really come together in that second half is all I'll say for that. They have talented players, but it just isn't. Just turn it into a blowout, says Cade Mills. At the moment, yes. Drills it through there. And it's a quite remarkable scoreline here, 30-10 at halftime here. And they might be with no Dylan Brown in the second half from the looks of it. He seems really awkward with the trainers still. I'd say don't risk it. You've got an all right lead. Let him have a rest on the bench. If drama comes, it comes. But I'd say rest him after that. Hamstring injury for Ponga is the update, legends. Jennykins says in the chat. Unfortunate stuff there for Kalen Ponga. Last thing you want to see is a hamstring injury for any player, especially not a player of such quality. Oops. Oopsie daisy. 1 second, legends. I've accidentally deleted the what's it called? The scoreline thing. So, well, that is what it is. TJC Sports halftime show with your host TJC Sports. But what's the scoreline again, legends? It is 30-10. Boom. Too easy to fix there, legends. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so funny, that mistake. But there we go, boom. I thought Raiders lost that game last week. No, they won it, legends. They were dominated at one point, but they won in golden point. In fact, it was the youngest player since 2017 to score not the youngest, but the least experienced NRL player to score a golden point field goal winner since 2017, when, fun fact, since you're a Storm fan, I'll give it to you. We said it earlier. The last one to do it was in 2017 when a young Brodie Croft did it for Melbourne Storm at home. And the commentators let out A Star is Born at Amy Park line. Takes me back to 2017. Of course, that was a while ago now. Brodie Croft went on to be quite average in the NRL before heading off to Super League, where he's won multiple Men of Steel awards and been quite successful over there. Hopefully for Sanders, it equals more NRL success than the last one. Coach needs to coach at halftime for the Seagulls. Exactly. And a streamer needs to stream. That's how it works, legend. You're absolutely right, though. The coach needs to actually coach in the second half. And at halftime, he needs to get this team together, because it's not... People are going to laugh at it, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just difficult. It's just difficult. And difficult can be just as bad as impossible. This is really going to show the character of what Manly are in to open the year, how they react in this second half here between them. Will they be able to keep themselves together, or will they fall apart in it here? No, Daniel Bate, as always, showing a bit of his knowledge in the chat. I'm doing good in fantasy, says Rugby Fella. Great to hear you're doing good in fantasy, legend. Very good to hear that. I have Cleary, Grant, Lasati, Haas, and Sewer. Bro, that's a brilliant group, man. Brilliant crop of, players. Coach need to be coaching. Players need to be playing. Streamers need to be streaming. Gerbo, Burbo, Turbo to stand up in the second half, hopefully, for them. They're going to need those three to stand up. I don't think Jamal Fogarty's been that bad, to be honest with you, so far for me. I think Jamal Fogarty's been all right when it comes to the creators. But yeah, I agree with you that Turbo and Burbo and Gerbo need to step up. I think Burbo's had some good attack at times, and that says a lot, because I think the other two are the better brothers, but when it comes to this game so far, I do think Burbo's had the better attack of the three. Yes, Turbo got that great try, but he's kind of been invisible outside of that, to be honest with you. Turbo needs to up his game a bit. Gerbo's been kind of invisible, really. Gerbo, I know that he's a simple forward, but he does need to improve a bit in that second half. They've kind of been opened up through the middle, which is his job, Great stream, young man. Thank you. Stream on, young man. Stream on. Stream on. I say stream on. We're going to keep streaming on, legend. And for those of you that didn't catch the first half, legends, and want to know the try scorers, Jamal Fogarty, we're not actually starting with Bailey. Jamal Fogarty's on the break because I love him. Greg Marju is the opener, where he scored in the opening minute and a bit before Dom Young scored in the 11th minute, followed by Jamal Fogarty crashing on forward with a dummy in the 14th, to be followed up by Tommy Turbo in the 20th, where you thought surely it was going to be 12-all. They scuffed the pass, and then it kind of became a frenzy of tries for the Knights. I think, funnily enough, when it was 2 tries apiece, I said it's not like the Knights have scored 3 in a row to make it a smashing. And then they do just that with Caitlin Ponga, Fletcher Hunt, and Tyson Frizzell. The Frizzell try was so unanswered. The other two I can respect, but the Frizzell try was so unnecessarily easy for them. Coach need to be coaching. You'll always get, don't you? You'll always get what it says on the tin from Jake T, don't you? Mate, I love that saying. Love that saying. I've never heard that saying before. But I love that saying. Absolutely right. You always get what's on the tin with him. Great attitude, bro. He's got a great attitude, loves his game, and he's just the nicest bloke. He's just the nicest bloke, legends. Like, I've only seen Jakey once or twice in my time doing what I'm doing. But both times, he's just been the most lovely guy, man. The most lovely guy. He will, like, we talk about nice blokes. He is, Jake is a top guy. Probably one of the few Manly players where I can say that there's no rivalry, dislike there. Nothing but respect for Jakey. Well, Stuart Polongo, I'm talking about, not talking about Jaden Stewart. You're talking about Sewer for long. Oh my God! Did I say Jaden Sewer? Did I say Jaden Sewer earlier? Oh my God! I was thinking Sewer for Logo, rugby fella. I was thinking Sewer for Logo. I don't know why. If I said that, if I said Jaden Sewer, that's my streaming brain being a streaming brain. All right, when you do what I do and you stream, sometimes your brain meshes things together. But yeah, no, I was thinking the same. I knew you were talking about Sewer for Longo. Yeah, mate, I genuinely think he should have been for me personally, he should have been before Pappy retired, the fullback. But, you know, he's showing now his talent. I think he shows exactly what they were missing from a full-strength, fully fit fullback. When Storm have a fullback like Falago in their team, they're just unstoppable, aren't they? Oh, I just said sewer. Okay, I was going to say, all right, yeah. Well, when I say sewer, I'm talking about Falago. I know who you were talking about, legend. When I say Jada, I won't say Who needs Jaden Sewer? Jaden Sewer's not a good pick for fantasy. I've just got to say that. Well, at least not for Supercoach. Don't pick Jaden Sewer, guys. Please. I'm no expert, but that's not your guy for Supercoach, all right? I'm not discounting him as a player, but Supercoach is not your go-to with him, especially with what you can get in your offers for that. Again, not a Supercoach expert, but also not a noob either. It's going to take an absolutely huge second half here from Manly to be able to get back into this one here. The Newcastle Knights all over them with the red and blue. Will Manly come back or will Knights hit 52 points? I don't think... I think surely the Knights don't hit 52. Please don't hit 52. If I'm going to have one bad tip, I don't want it to be this bad. I don't want it to be this bad, legends. Like, come on. People are proving the Storm wrong now. Look at us. Us were first. We're first. Exactly. You are. Exactly, mate. You're for a reason. The Storm are one of the better... are definitely always one of the better teams in the comp. They deserve to be first, you know. They've had the best start. Did I approve of all the decisions in the first round? Absolutely not. But Storm were the better team the first round by far, and they were the better team by far in the second round by an 80-minute performance. So, yeah, no, Storm deserved that. Credit to Warriors too, and I'm going to skip over third because I don't like Panthers. Credit to Warriors and the Tigers too. You know, they've had some very surprising starts considering where they were expected to finish this year. And as it stands, I don't think this ladder is going to be fully showing of how the season's going to go, but I do think that Melbourne in first place is definitely a sign that they can easily be a top 4 team. They're always one of those teams, you just can't doubt them, can you? You just can't. When you doubt them is when they completely give you a shambolic bad take, and they score an exceptional amount of points. For those of you wondering where your team is on the ladder, legends, by the way, Newcastle are 7th right now. Manly are in 12th. Not showing why they're above at the moment, eh? I remember Torn in an interview saying Jake is always early for everything, like alone footy. Other people I've encountered like take leaf out of his book. Exactly, Daniel. Exactly. Well, he knows how lucky he is. He's living a dream, legends. He's living an absolute dream, and he knows it, and he's going to appreciate it. You can see him in the shed right now motivating his boys. He's a real leader. He's a real good player. And he sure as heck is going to give his all in the second half, so he expects the same from his teammates. GG on round one coming from a Storm fan. GG, rugby fella, man. GG on... you probably, if you don't want to get offended, probably don't want to see my vlog, as good as my vlog is for Storm Para. I'm a bit harsh on Melbourne in that vlog, but overall, from an honest standpoint, legends, you know, the better team won that game. I think Knights will win 50-10, says Cade Mills. 50-10, bye-bye. Well, I'm personally hoping that Manly come back a little in the second half because for me, my favourite kind of games are ones where we actually get a bit of fight. So I want Manly to fight back again. You know, they fought back before. They got to fight back again, all right? They're at Brookvale. This isn't just, you know, a game where they're behind. Oh, not much they can do. This is Brookie. This is where the magic happens. This is where I want to see the flick of the wrist with the wand. Like, come on. Get at it, legends. 1 second, just quickly. All right, there we go. There we go. Just had to reply to a mate. All right, let's go. I was watching the Tigers and the Cowboys game last night. Oh, the Tigers were all over them, apparently, legend. I missed that game, but the Tigers, man, wow. What's up with the Cowboys to open the year? It's just not their year, is it? Right attitude. Exactly. It's the right attitude, man. You know, you want to put in the effort to be there on time. Sometimes you can't help it. You just don't want to make a habit of it. Legends, I think you forget sometimes I've always got to be on time to these streams. I don't want to be late to these. You know, I could be late to these, but like, you know, I wouldn't deserve the loyal viewership I have if I wasn't keeping the consistency with it, right? Quite lucky to be where I am. Not if Knights score 30 plus in the second half. Not if, legend. Not if. If Manly don't come back and win after the Knights have lost their spine, they should be ashamed, says Bear Guys. You know what? I like that comment. Yeah, they've lost their spine. They've completely lost their spine. If Manly get dominated around the park in the second half, they should be ashamed. Absolutely. Legends, I've got an exciting announcement. We are 1 sub away from 3.4K. How incredible is that? That will put us just 100 away from being 101 away technically from being closer to 6K than 5K, legends. If you haven't yet, consider hitting that button, legends. And yes, we do say legends a lot. I'm shocked Tigers are in the A. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be straight up with you. I didn't expect much from Tigers this year, but they deserve credit for how they've begun with that first game. Wow. Pat yourself on the dang back, legends. You deserve it all for that one. Wow. The West Tigers. And speaking of patting yourself on the back, pat yourselves on the back, legends. Thanks to Rugby Fella. Appreciate you, legend. We have officially hit 5.4K subscribers. Let's go, legends. Let's see how we can keep going from here. But 5.4K has been achieved again, folks. How good is that, legends? Our growth has been insane. You know, we started the year on around 5.2 something, and we're already where we are. How quick is it going at this moment? It can't go quicker than how quick it's going. Like the stream, guys. Thank you very much. We have the best viewers when it comes to wanting to support the channel, don't we? And for anyone wondering, how can I support the channel? You can like it. You can sub if you want to go that extra level. You can donate, but I don't exactly encourage it because I don't love taking money from you guys that much. But there's that too, and all that stuff. You know, hey, speaking of which, Daniel B here, I'll donate when I'm sorted regarding my move back to home, Tyler. Hey, legend, don't rush. Don't rush at all to donate. I don't do this for donations, man, but I appreciate that very much, bro. And if you do manage to have that spare change, I appreciate it. But it's ultimately not something where you need to do it, man. I just do this because I love it. And it's the second half officially is starting now, legends. Get yourselves buckled into your seatbelts. Let's go. Knights versus Manly, second half. Knights over to the right here. Pasami solo. Crashes on forward here. It'll be my pleasure to, I was going to say take it, but that sounds terrible. It'll be my pleasure to continue the incredible content. Round to the right here. Goes to Crossland, who crosses over here. And over to the wing of Hopewadi here. Lay Hopewadi now, rushing forward now. Tyler, West Tigers meant to saying we are playing finals football this year. They could. They could. If they play like that for the whole year, they 100% could. But, they're going to have to play like that for the whole year again. Round to the right here, Cooler. Jason Sub, Manly get their possession for the first time in this game. Halfway through the set now. We will find a replacement for Meany next year, a goal kicker. Bro, Nick Meany, man. What a solid player he is. I know you'll find a good replacement 100%. You're great with your recruitment, but how do I put this? He still will be missed. He's a great addition to the Bears, I must say. Long kick chase from Manly over to the right here and ends up in the hands of Greg Marju here. Now to the right with Bradman Best here. Little tippy toes forward now. Breaking news, legends. Dylan Brown is out officially, legends. Hopefully he gets well soon, man. Probably my favourite current Newcastle Knight. Such a shame. I'm wishing if you substance go, your favourite NRL team will win every week if you do. Cade Mills. Shush. They're not meant to know that secret. If the NRL and I make it a thing, man, we have to keep it a secret. Because if we tell them that, then it's going to be rigged for all of their teams to win the comp. And we can't have that, legend. Now on the 10, Tommy Turbo. Taps forward here. And it looks like an MCL injury for Brown. Great. How lucky is Dylan? Damn it. Manly Seagulls on the 35-meter now, legends. Round to the left here. Ethan Bullimore here. The kickoff today from Knights is where it all went wrong for Manly. Luke Brooks down the edge here. I was about to say how he missed it. He finds the pass to Cooler here, and Cooler stays in the field of play now, somehow. Luke Brooks now goes to the right here. It's fourth tackle, legends. Swinging it over to the right here. Tommy Turbo finds Olakuatu. Chance to widen it up, and it's an easy try for him. Olakuatu, and it's a big start in the second half for Manly. And the Seagulls have said, sit down, hold on to lighting that celebration cake. I'm ready to dim out the candles and make them my own. It's some trick candles from the inner working sandals of Luke Brooks and Olakuatu and Turbo. Coming up with the offload there. Waiting, got it. Turbo, Olakuatu, smash through, try confirmed. And I'm sure those are the words all Manly fans were waiting to hear. Party at Brookvale tonight. Everybody but Newey gonna have a good time. Unless they can hold back. And shake that. Come back. Come back. 14:30 now. Soft try that was. A hugely soft try, legend, but they can take credit for it, man. What players confirmed for the Bears? I think at the moment it's... I don't remember who was confirmed, but Talakai, Wishart, Toby Sexton, Nick Meany. I'm trying to think about this very carefully. I think Sorensen could be off to the Bears too, right? I think Scott Sorensen might be off to the Bears as well. Yeah, he is. Sorensen's off to the Bears. I'm trying to go off memory legends. McDonald, yeah. Newman, yeah. There's a lot of names that are off to the Bears next year. Josh Curran's a big one too. And Sean Russell, my goat, my water bottle. Sean Russell too. Oh, shorty boy. Oh, I'm still devastated about that. Why'd we got to remind me? Tito's younger bro. Yeah, he's off to Bears too. Why? Why do we have to remind me that my boy Shorty's off to the Bears? Liam Henry as well, legends. Please. Absolutely devastated. And Brooks. Oh, no. Brooks has made a meal of another kickoff, legends. And what an opportunity for Newcastle this is. No. Yeah, Sexton, Daniel Bate. Sexton is a bear, and I am over the moon about that. Sean Russell and Toby Sexton are going to be in a team together. It really makes me emotional. It makes me so emotional to think about how special that is. As much as I'm nearly in tears, man. I hate the idea that Russell's not going to be an Eel. It's fine. Sandon Smith to Bradman Best. Nobody understands how much I like Russell. I reckon Cobo might end up there. Honestly, Cobo genuinely is a shout for it, and I think he'd be a great signing for the Bears too. And for those people who go, oh, TJC, why would you care much about the Bears? Well, outside of them being a new team, which is always exciting, you know, I think people forget, or at least they don't know about my family. I'll mention it in a second. Wait, we might have a try for Knights. Dom Young crashes on Brew for a try here. It's a double for the Knights winger. As I was saying, my family has a history of Bears support in the past of it here. Before they were out of the comp, my mama was a Bears fan, believe it or not. Now we're para through and through. I've been para my whole life and could only ever imagine being para, but there's always that soft spot for the Bears. And I guess in a way I have a second one, you know? Some players come and go, you still got to support your team. 100% you still got to support your team, legend. No doubt about it. I love my team just as much with or without Russell. It's just that Sean Russell is a special guy. He's a special guy, Daniel Bate. When it comes to like he's Parramatta through and through, and I think that's what I love about him. Some of my favorite players aren't the best on the field. They're the ones that inherently embody what the club is. You know, and you know, in the space of 2 years, I lost Dylan Brown. We're going to lose Russell. It's a rough thing, but also it's what happens in rugby league. Imagine trying to stop Young that close to the try line. Oh, I know, right, man? Bro, I'd have better luck from here. And here come the Knights. You'd be really hoping that he misses this one here. If you're a Manly fan, at least. Dom Young. What happened? He was at the Knights doing great, went to the Roosters, had a good first season, ran into poor form with them, goes back to Newcastle, finds his form again. From the sideline now, Sandon Smith here. Glad we can agree. Great minds speak alike, Daniel. Great minds speak alike. Kane Milson's Knights fire back. That they do. I'm trying to think about the backline here. They're going to have a backline that has Russell and Cobbo on an edge if they wanted to, which is actually a scary thought. I mean, at that point, just sign Prime Greg Inglis, right? I mean, Russell, wow. And with that, apparently, Dom Young reaches 50 tries. A huge milestone for him. And he'll be celebrating hard with that one. Can you believe that this is only our first stream of 2 today, legends? It's been an incredible performance, right? And then we've got the Queensland rivalry there between the Dolphins and the Titans there. Of course, legends... Well, we have more people streaming that, so we're probably not going to get as many viewers, but like it's still a blast nonetheless, right? Because we don't do it necessarily for that as much as we appreciate it. And so far, Knights still trail on the poll, which is really surprising to me. I would have thought that would have changed by now. 34-16 the score.
Knights, they meet Manly here in the 10. Round to the right, there's a bit of a glitch on my headset there for a second. That kind of, I went, whoa. Manly need a drop ball or something from the Knights. If they can get into the 20s, the motivation's definitely there. Still 31 minutes on the clock right now on fourth tackle here. Garrick to Fogarty. Almost round to Matt Croker here. Spins around now. And Croker on the ground on the last. Smith. And it looks like Crossland's going to take a kicking duties here. Probably what would have been Dylan Brown's kicking duties. And out there, Lay Opawati through to the left here. Had a very tough off-season. Feel bad for the poor kid. Moves round the middle now to Cook. Talatau Kola. Round to the right there, Jamal Fogarty. Mate, I didn't realize how much I missed streaming till I did it again now today. I remember, I missed it, but I didn't realize how much I missed it. I remember the manager, John Gregory, said if he'd had a gun, he would have, when he said he wanted to leave, go back in 1990s at Villa. Yeah, it was a different time, wasn't it? The things that they could say. Crazy stuff, man. But that's the passion, you know? That's the passion, you know? You bleed for the badge. Bleed for the badge. High kick from Manly, brings it up for Garrick. I don't know if Garrick saw it too well. Whether it was the light or what, I'm not sure. And Newcastle now get a penalty. Todd Smith blowing the whistle. Referees love blowing the whistle, especially Toddy Smith. Toddy Blowy Smith is what I call him. Kane Mills says, can Manly come back? Can they or can they not? You're not in trouble, legend. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble at all. I just have to watch what I say because the YouTube algorithm is interesting like that. But I've got no problem, man. That's what he said. That's the quote, and it's a great quote. You know, don't need to apologize, man. The only time people need to apologize is when they say, swear word you TJC, you absolute donkey. You don't know anything about rugby league. You know, like that kind of stuff. You know, when it's just assaults. Exactly, Daniel. Exactly. 1 Meany, 2 Russell, 3 Chris Baylor, 4 Newman, Luke Lear. I expect that. Well, it's a good lineup, isn't it? But if you can get Cobbo in that too, wow. Dylan Brown and Ponga just having a chat in the sheds at the moment, the poor buggers, after injury. Trey Mooney now putting the pressure on them here. 34-16 at the moment. We go to Crossland now. Thankfully, you are a snowflake. I ain't a snowflake. I'm just I have a limit with what I'll deal with when it's just basically assault. You know what I mean? But verbal assault's different to just you're cracking a joke, you're having some banter. Bro, I'm a Para fan. Like people talk about, oh, you just do this to them for that. Mate, I don't do anything for glory necessarily, bro. I know how to handle being absolutely dumped on. Crossland swings it to the right here. Finds Gagai. Don't worry, Daniel. Young people can annoy me as much as they annoy you. And I'm young. I'm young with life experience. That's the difference. Low kick from the Knights. And out of play it goes there. Manly are going to get the ball back here. And he just got that one slightly wrong, Sandon Smith, with the effort in the kick. I think there's plenty of notes Holbrook can take from this game. Especially if they keep dominating the way they had. Yeah, but Talakai's probably going to line up from the bench or in the forward pack, rugby fella. Probably unlikely to be a setter for the Bears. But yeah, Talakai's definitely a player too that's going to be big for them. Round to the left. And the final interchange player used by Anthony Seibold. Trust me, there are older snowflake people too. Oh, I won't get into it, Daniel Bank, because it would get me into trouble. But trust me, I know that there's older people that are snowflakes. I have to deal with them in my creator space. Trust me, I know snowflakes exist that are older than me. Round the middle here, Manly towards Turbo backwards. And what was that? Knights are going to crash away here, I think, for a try potentially. Luke Brooks had to chase him. They seemed like they almost had no communication. Finds Dom Young. And now they swing it from Sandon Smith over to Bradman Best here. Bradman Best in the centers around now. And that was borderline forward there over to Trey Mooney, but it's fine. Trey Mooney goes down. It's definitely line ball at least. And here we go, Crossland to Solo now. And Pasami Solo with it here. Pasami Solo goes forward now. Solo just maybe we're going to extend that second half big out a little bit so that it's a bit flatter for our screens. There we go. That way we can see Turbo's wonderful face. Sandon Smith here with a clearance in the air. A few exchanges between the Knights' attack. Dom Young passes backwards here. And they keep going. And is that played out by Turbo? Holds his ground. Manly balls the call. Newcastle are going to challenge. Yeah, who's the captain now that Pogga's not on? That's a good question. Isn't that funny? Dane Gagai walks up to Todd Smith and it's like challenge, and Todd's like, hang on a second, are you the captain? Yes, he is. He is. He's the captain while they're not on the field, apparently. Kicks the ball. Tommy's just standing his ground is the call. I think he sticks his leg out like he could, but I don't think that he was playing out it the way that they think. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to call fair enough from the bunker on that one. I don't think it was worth a challenge with how the Knights are doing right now, but, you know, credit where it's due, I guess. If the Finns win next, I'll be 3 out of 8. Mate, good luck with that. I hope that for your sake, I hope that they win. 3 out of 8's not a great tipping week, is it? I've had kind of the opposite tipping week. This is the one stripped, penalty, 100% a penalty. Not got any bias, but I really hoped would be solid would be more solid defensively this year. They don't look it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I agree with you. Like, I don't like Manly at all. Like, due to my Bears heritage, I'm not a big Manly fan at all. Like, I'm going to be good with fair to them with streams, but like, I'm not a big Manly fan. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way. If I have a choice between them and a lot of other teams, I'm not going to watch them. But, you know, getting back to my point here, Manly on the halfway line, by the way. The Seagulls, for me, personally, their defense has just really been something they've lacked. And it's what lost them last week, and I think it's what's going to lose them this week. Their attack's good. Their attack is solid, but their defense, they just struggle so hard with it. Like, I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know whether it's their drills or the players that they've got, but their defense just is not on it. I feel like for me, I'd argue they need to sign some more defensive players. And oh no, it's a knock on from Manly. They're calling it a double knock on, so it doesn't even get to continue on. I know Manly are a dislike club in the Australian game. Is this still a view? Sorry, my brain. I think that flu's still messing with my head a little. I know Manly are a dislike club in the Australian game. Is this still a thing for you in your view, TJC? Yes, 100%. I still think this is a thing. I definitely still think this is a thing. I think that they're not as hated as they used to be. I think the top hated teams now are Panthers, Storm, and Broncos. Personally, I don't dislike Broncos at all, but Broncos are on that list, I'd say. I'd say Broncos, Panthers, and Storm are the top disliked teams. And Para, arguably, but not because Para's also one of the most loved. That's the thing with Para. I think it's just that they've got such a passionate fan base while not winning for so long that, like, you know, we're the meme team. We're not really hated, we're memed. It's a little different, you know? The other three, though, it's actual hate that they have on them. And it's for different reasons. Manly, it's for a lot of similar reasons to why the Storm are hated nowadays. You know, only less modern, right? Manly are kind of like the OG, we're better than you kind of club. And a lot of people dislike them for that. On the 20-metre line here, Crossland. Through the hands to Sandon Smith, who finds Hunt. Hunt on the fullback around through the middle now. Are you streaming the grand final rematch Friday night? Absolutely, legend. Absolutely. The only games we're not streaming next week are the Sunday games because I'll be at the game for Para and won't be able to get home to stream the other one. So there that is. But be sure to check out that vlog when that's out, Legends, Dragons, Para. But we've got plenty of streams before that coming up. So You know, don't need to stress too bad. One second, legends. I got distracted talking to you guys. I've got to see what happened here on the screen to update you. So penalty here for Manly, luckily. Well, what I'll say is the Seagulls need to score soon. What I will say. Well, I'll be there. Awesome, mate. Enjoy the game. Can Broncos get revenge over... mate, I hope you have an absolute blast with it, cheering them on here. TJC, what team do you dislike the most? Storm. It's Storm. I want to say Panthers. I want to say Bulldogs. I want to say Manly. I can't. It's Storm. And there's so much reason for it. I'm sorry. I have an old friend from Victoria that's a Storm fan, and it hurts me because I really don't like them. I know I'm a Victorian, and that sounds stupid, but it's because I have logic in my thoughts. You know, I'm not blinded by being a Victorian. Victorian Queenslander. Round to the right. Burbo. Can Parra get 2 wins in a row, says George Alam? Most definitely. Tommy Turbo, it's the last for Manly, and it's way too deep there. And they're just not hitting anything right at the moment, legends. Warriors are nowhere near my most disliked team, Kate. In fact, they'd probably be in my top 4 like teams because of my family connections to New Zealand. TJC doesn't look it, but he's actually got quite a mixed bag of relations. You know, half my family is actually from New Zealand, so like, of course I've got that care for the Wars. Well, I hate Parra because you guys broke out a 19-game winning streak back in 20, but it's my opinion. Exactly. That's your opinion, rugby fella. That's your opinion, right? You hate Parra because they broke your streak. We hate Parra because you tried to screw us over in a court case, cheated us in 09, showed trophies that weren't yours in front of us before a game. Like, it's pretty even, right? We dislike each other for our reasons, but that's how it is, right? Like, it's a rivalry. And that's just how it goes. We continue on from it. Still time on the clock. Nothing against Newcastle, but hope Manly can make it a contest for the next 20 minutes. Absolutely agree, legend. Least favourite team for Cade is the Panthers. Fair enough, legend. Doesn't shock me. Over to the right here. Sandon Smith back around now to Mooney. Through to the line here. Keeps it alive for Graham. Finds Hunt here. Now on the right-hand side here. Hunt around here. Hunt into the grounds. And Cooler taking them up nicely there. I'm going to take Paramount Stadium for you next year. You're going to take the stadium for me, mate. That's a great gift. Thank you very much, legend. Phoenix Crossland. Over to Trey Mooney. Can he get 2 straight tries in his swing? He doesn't. Not in his bag just yet. On the last now for Newcastle. They're in front of the Manly try line. Here's Crossland. Now Smith, and that's got to be a try for Knights. Good kick from Sandon Smith, and Manly have to take it out of play. And Manly are running out of time to keep this interesting. Really trying to keep this interesting, legends, aren't they? Righty. Oh, whoa, they've bugged. They've bugged, legends. They've bugged. The Channel 9. The Channel 9 guys, they've lost their volume. They've lost their commentary. Round the middle now. We keep going with it. Saifiti. Keeps going round to the left here. Crossland with it here. Crossland around now. Crossland down on the ground here. They keep moving to the left. Spinning around through. We've got the commentary back, legends. Thank God. I was starting to lose myself there for a second with my headphones. I was like, what's going on with Channel 9? And over to Crossland. On the right here. Hunt. Dummies now. Oh, what an offload here, Knights. And it's not going to be anything. Jermaine McEwen. He's a good player. Fletcher Hunt. He's got plenty of game in him. I'm watching it on Kayo. Cheers, man. Cheers. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the next game on Kayo because it's only available on Kayo. Next Sunday in this time slot, Eels vs Dragons. Don't miss that. You might spot TJC in the crowd, legends. Move to the right here. Fox 502, dodgy stream. Mate, they're being dodgy as, aren't they? Trailing by 18 with 7 minutes to go here. Through to the right. Olakawatu. Refusing to allow the milking here, Todd Smith. No restart there for Manly. 5th tackle. Brooks goes high. Just humbles it away from Hunt. And then Fletcher's going to let it go out of play there. And he won't try to catch that one. Totally miskicked that, Luke Brooks. Did not want that on the 20. And now Dom Young gets to tap and go with it here. Jenny, I don't really hate the Dolphins. It's the defense I hate about the team. You just hate watching their defense, right? You're not a big fan of how they defend. Through the middle now, Saifiti goes to the right here with Crossland. Moving around to Gagai now. Leighton Bain over to Gagai here. Targeting Fogarty here down the middle now. And so Manly's defense on the back foot here. Almost around, goes to Sandon Smith. They keep going. They keep going. They refuse. Inside the attacking 20 yet again here. McEwen holds on this time here on the right edge. 10 meters out now. It's great to see AJ broke that record Friday night. Very good, man. Who is the biggest grub at the right game right now, in your opinion? I thought it was Nass, personally, legend. Crossland knocks the ball off for Knights. I thought it was Nass. Now, who's the biggest grub? Honestly, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't. Can I just say like Eddie Storm player? And now the fumble there. And the Manly Warringah Seagulls with a mistake. This has been a bit of a mess for Manly, hasn't it? The guy who used to play for Melbourne now at Finns is one of them, right? Kafusi? Yeah, you'd probably be saying Kafusi, wouldn't you? I suppose so, legend. Now to the right here, Dane Gagai, only 2 on the right-hand side here as they fire it out, and the referee's going to blow his whistle for a penalty. Do they want the penalty or the repack? They're taking the 2 for a 20-point lead, legends, it looks like. We did have Bromwich brothers, but they retired. They retired, legends. They retired. Yeah, Kenny and Jesse, but... You know, they were close to retirement before joining the Dolphins. You know, they were kind of pushing themselves ahead to be at the Dolphins. Like, credit where it's due to them for that. Let's do that. Smart decision taking the 2 points here. And now Sandon Smith with a career 82% here. Where's Luby? He Manly would have won him with him. Oh, yeah, mate. With Luby, Manly would have 100% won. If they had Luby, but they don't have Luby. Luby's been left out. Bro, we want Luby. We want Luby in the team. It's a joke. It's a joke that they would dare not have the GOAT Isaac Luby in the team. Sandon Smith taking the kick here. He'll be wearing the 7 next week. Dylan Brown out with the injury. And it's an MCL injury as well, so it's probably not going to be a short-term injury for Dylan Brown. To make the margin 20. Slots in now. And the Manly Warringah Seagulls just on top of them. Bit of pausing from TJC there. He's bad. And it's going to be a 20-point lead for the Newcastle Knights. Don't know about you, legends, but I'm absolutely pumped about it. It's 36-16. Looks like Manly are going to go short here. They kind of have to, don't they? And he knocks it forwards into Newcastle. Play on here. Down the left here. And he felt like bombs in the stream. Who knows, man? The Bromwich brothers were good. They remind me of where I grew up, Castle Bromwich in Birmingham. Birmingham. Good old Birmingham City. Kidding. Shout out to Birmingham, man. The Bromwich brothers were solid players, weren't they? They weren't those players where I always saw them on the highlight reel, but man, oh man, were they just solid. I feel like the Bromwich brothers are good to remember just because they're the classic example of players where they were just reliable in every sense of the word. Running through the middle here to Trey Moody. No, not them, Villa. Yeah, you're Villa, but Birmingham City's a thing. It exists. Birmingham and Villa, bro. I want to see another game between Birmingham and Villa. Come on. Yo, legend, I'm really hoping my Titans do tonight because the Bronx haven't, so might as well go for Titans. Might as well. Hope the Titans do well. Hope the Titans do well. Come on, bro. Let's go. Versus the Dolphins. Come on, do a bit more than Bronx. I'm kind of nervous whether the Titans can do more than Bronx, but... Oh, no thanks, says Daniel Bate. Nothing like a derby matchup, bro. Come on. Damn, for Brown, it's the same knee, suffered partial tear in 24. Oh, that's such a shame. Such a shame to hear. You never like to hear that. Injury coming back to get him. That's one thing you always say about injuries, legends. They're never the same. Once your body will never have the same strength in that muscle again once it tears completely. It's just an unfortunate truth. And I don't see Manly getting out of this today, legends. High shot there on the night. Please don't say that. I need Finns to win, says Jenny Kenner. Well, I think Finns will win, legend. TGC, do you like the Titans? Yeah, no. I have a soft spot for Titans. I don't mind Titans. They're not in my top 5 teams, but they're certainly a team I don't dislike at all. Knees are a terrible thing. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, I would know. I've been ruled out of walking for a week from a high... that was more the back of my leg, but leg injuries in general are some of the worst injuries. I think it's under-talked about how bad leg injuries are sometimes. They are some of the most painful, most life-affecting injuries, the way that they impact you. Early set restart for Knights. They've dominated this game, and they deserve this. They just deserve this. There's just no other way about it. They deserve it. They've done well. Moody. A great run goes forward today, Trey Moody. Amazing meters run to the right. Crossland dummies here. They still work, thankfully. As long as they work, legend, that's what matters, right? Knights are against St. Noir's next week. You think the Knights will beat them? Mate, at this point, I'm starting to struggle to not tip Knights, right, with how they're going. For me, the Warriors have started so well too. It's really about who do you think will make the most of it. All good, rugby fella. Was good having you in the stream, legends. Got a damaged Achilles tendon acting like as an ACL in my knee now. Oh, sounds rough, man. Sounds rough. Looks like the Knights kicked it for themselves there. It just didn't work out. Manly now to the left side here. And just brushes forward here by the skin of his teeth. Remember, we have another game after this one, legends. We have the 6:15 matchup between the Dolphins and the Titans. We'll be live about 5 minutes before that game. Should look forward to it, legends. 7 minutes left in this one here, all right? We'll aim to be live about 5 minutes before that one, all right? Don't get old, guys. Sound advice. Oh, too easy, legend. Gotcha. Never going to grow old again. You see the age I've aged to now? It's the best I'm going to get. Dylan Brown in a precautionary cast, it looks like. Home game against the Warriors coming up for Newcastle. We're just talking about it before. I am honestly not. That might be the toughest game to tip next round. Of all the games that I thought would be the toughest to tip, I did not expect that. But next week, Knights and Warriors might be the toughest game to tip. Round to the left. Sandon Smith to Matt Croker. Matt Croker forward here. Newcastle round left now. Crossland finds Moody. Ruben Garrick. Garrick through the middle here. Looking for the counter. He keeps going. Ruben Garrick wants to run the field for a try. Can he do it? Ruben Garrick here. Get tackled by Dom Young now. And no one's there. No marker. And Bradman Best is allowed to run. This is a mix of emotions here. There wasn't a Manly jersey in sight. Exactly. The fans are going off here at Brookvale Oval. Bro, where were the Manly players? They win the next bloody postcode. Lost by Dom Young as this game is petering out a little. This has truly been extraordinary. Manly with a brilliant run, and then there's just no one there. He doesn't even bother going to dummy half the foot. What are they doing? What on earth are they doing? Absolute joke. And Bradman Best just went, I'll have that. No fluke about this game at all. It's been a better performance from Knights. Round to the right here. And here come Manly around to the 40. And Manly fans, they're leaving early on the hill. They're not sticking around through this. Seagulls with the spoon. They are a team that's in trouble this year, genuinely. They are a team in trouble. Tommy Turbo, and he's thrown the intercept. Gagai gets to run with it here. He gets to play on now. Dane Gagai keeps going. He wants to score. Dane Gagai. Pass 1, pass 2, pass 3. Gets to the 10-meter line now. He certainly got speed on himself here. 4 minutes on the clock to go on the 10-meter line. Newcastle Knights. Either side they go. In the 20-meter line here, Dylan Lucas takes the tackle. Mucus Pucus Lucas. It's me talking as a neutral. It would be their first ever wooden spoon. That's the big thing. They're one of the only teams that can claim to fame that they never got one. And considering how long they've been in the comp, it's a big call. And huge call here. Manly have a man in the bin. Heverington is going off. Came from the Brisbane Broncos this year. He's got his bidding as a Manly Seagull now. Kobe Heverington. And he was one of the players that was signed to fix their defense. He was meant to be one of the ones that saved them, not ruined them. Manly's one of the only teams that never got a spoon, legend. 1947, they entered the same year as Para. Para has a lot more spoons than them. So not only would Sea Eagles be fine. Fun fact: if Para didn't have such a dreadful 2018, it would have been Manly spoon. They were second last that year, and only by like a win. If we won like one of our games against Manly, they would have been the Spooners. But no, Para had to lose both to Manly that year. So we get another spoon on our thing. Yeah, gonna see Doctor get confirmation. I'm expecting it, so it's not hard on me. Basically, I got 14 years. Oh, well, hope you're in tip-top shape for as long as a lamb shake. I don't know. Lots of work this week on training paddock for Manly players. Absolutely, back to the drawing board, as they would say. Simkin, over to the left. 2 minutes left on the clock. Legends. Almost to the 30. Finds Jake Trbojevic. Over to Jamal Fogarty here. Olakawatu arms out here. Olakawatu pushes them forward. Can Knights hit 40 TJC? They can, but I think they're pretty happy to just have the result, Legend, especially with a spine down. They've shown their strength. Tommy Turbo here. That could be a penalty for an obstruction. So they come back for the original penalty instead of the obstruction. So penalty back on the halfway line for Manly. And the Sea Eagles, they've let themselves down tonight. It just has not been their day. That's tough for Manly, just like Broncos. You know, just like the Brizzy Broncos. You know, they opened up with 2 games at home to start the season, and they couldn't keep it together for either. Luke Brooks, one last set to try and get the consolation try here for Manly. And they're playing with 12, of course, here down the middle here to the 20. Simpkin. And now it's Trbojevic over to Kula. Kula kicks low here. Kula. And he couldn't quite break through. 50 seconds on the clock. And then we'll wrap up these stream, Legends. And be prepping ourselves for the next live stream reaction between the two here. You know, they won in Vegas. No easy trip that one, Newcastle. They favour it up against, of course, Warriors next week. They did it here with a win. Can they make it 3 straight? Due to be live in about 20 minutes, Legends, on the channel for Dolphins Titans. I hope to see some of you there. We might go live a few minutes earlier, but no guarantees with that because it takes a little bit to set up. But you can go over there and show some love to that stream if you'd like, Legends, as we prep for that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As easy as you'd like it there, Legends. Into the chat it goes there, the link. Going to pin that on the channel. Feel free to check out the next stream, Legends. We wrap up the stream and the poll here. The poll ends with 100 votes exactly. Not often we get 100 votes exactly. With 53% going with the Knights to win, 47% with Manly. Knights ticked it at the end. Thanks for watching. Click that link and show some love to that stream. I'll see you guys over there in roughly 15 to 20 minutes. Legends, let's go. Appreciate every single one of you. Best of luck to Dylan Brown and Ponga with their injuries. Manly just simply did not perform today, and it showed. Newcastle Knights, well, pat yourself on the back. You put up the best performance. Moving on to the next one now. Let's move on to a big rivalry. Cheers, Legends.